and welcome to the life of John F. Kennedy, one of the most iconic figures in American history. JFK was a man who inspired a generation, and his legacy lives on to this day. But what do we really know about the life of this charismatic and complex leader? In this video, we'll explore JFK's early life, his rise to power, and his enduring impact on the world. And so, John F. Kennedy was born on May 29, 1917 in Brookline, Massachusetts. He was the second son of Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. and Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, a prominent Boston family. And so what was JFK's childhood really like? Well, JFK's childhood was shaped by his family's wealth and status, but also by his health struggles. He spent much of his childhood in hospitals and underwent multiple surgeries to address his back pain and other medical issues. But that didn't stop him from achieving great things. In fact, he was such a great student that he graduated from Harvard in just 3 years. He then joined the US Navy and served in World War II, commanding a PT boat in the Pacific Theater. And so JFK's bravery and leadership during this time in the war earned him a Purple Heart and other honours. After the war, JFK turned his attention to politics. He was elected to the US House of Representatives in 1946 and served for 6 years before being elected to the US Senate in 1952. In 1960,
nomination for president.
The great senator from the state of Massachusetts, John F. Kennedy.
JFK announced his candidacy for president, running against Republican nominee Richard Nixon, but getting the presidency wasn't easy. JFK faced numerous challenges during his campaign, including criticism for his Catholic faith and concerns about his relative youth and lack of political experience. He also had to navigate a series of televised debates with Nixon, which many believed helped sway the outcome of his election. And so,
John F. Kennedy settles into office as the 35th President of the United States, the youngest man and the first Roman Catholic ever elected to the office.
JFK was inaugurated as the 35th President of the United States on January 20th, 1961. He was the youngest person ever to be elected to the presidency, and he brought a sense of youthful energy and optimism to the White House never seen before. During his presidency, JFK faced several critical issues, including the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the struggle for civil rights. He also launched several major initiatives, including the Peace Corps and the Alliance for Progress, which aimed to promote economic development and the democracy in Latin America. And so John F. Kennedy's presidency was also marked by his famous vision for space exploration. In 1961, he challenged the nation to put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
And this challenge was met in 1969 when Apollo 11 successfully landed on the moon, fulfilling Kennedy's dream. And JFK was famous for his many involvements in the civil rights movements, where he was initially cautious, but then eventually became a strong supporter of desegregation and equal rights for African Americans. He gave a famous speech in 1963 in which he declared that we are confronted primarily with moral issues, and called for an end to racial discrimination in America. During JFK's life, he was married to Jacqueline Bouvier, who later became known as Jackie Kennedy. Together, they had 2 children, Caroline and John Jr. Jackie, and both JFK's children went on to have a successful career in politics and law. But JFK's presidency was tragically cut short on November 22, 1963.
At 1:25, the motorcade moves into the downtown area. In a warehouse, a sniper with a rifle poised waits. The cheers of the crowds almost muffle the 3 shots. The assassin's aim is deadly.
When he was assassinated while riding in a motorcade in Dallas, Texas. His death was a shock to the nation and the world, and it continues to be the subject of intense speculation and debate. But despite his short time in the office, JFK's legacy is profound. He inspired a generation of young Americans to pursue public service and to believe in the power of government to effect positive change. His charismatic personality and leadership style continue to influence politicians and leaders around the world today. And so, John F. Kennedy may have only served as president for a few short years, but his legacy still lives on. He inspired generations with his words and actions, and his impact on American history cannot be overstated. So, if you enjoyed this look into the life of John F. Kennedy, subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this, where we explore the lives of some of the most influential figures in history. And we'll see you next time.
I have a dream that that one day every valley shall be exalted.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds.
We choose to go to the moon, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.